If you're a first-time cook, someone who's never really done a lot in the kitchen before, if you're a student who's just moved out of home, or someone who's basically just allowed somebody else in their life to do the cooking, it can be incredibly daunting to start cooking for the first time. When you see recipe books and cooking shows and things like that, they often deal with complex recipes with lots and lots of ingredients. It can be extremely challenging to try and get in there and do something. Well, today I want to show you that you don't necessarily have to have a whole lot of ingredients or a complicated recipe to make something that's really delicious. Now, this one's probably a bit embarrassing to call a recipe, it's more of a cooking method, but it's something that's simple, quick, cheap and easy that anyone can do. It's simple seasoned chicken, today on the One Pot Chef. Simple seasoned chicken. This is so easy. I've got a baking tray here and I'm just going to start arranging some chicken thigh fillets on the tray. I've got some baking paper on the tray to help sort of clean up later so we don't have anything sticky and messy to deal with. Now, as you can see, these thigh fillets have already been relatively trimmed to fat. There's a few little bits on there still, but don't panic because realistically speaking, the fat has all the flavour and you don't want to get rid of all of it. So in the end, just leave that little bit on there. If there's a lot on it when you bought it, feel free to sort of carve a little extra off, but don't panic if there's a ton there. Now, first of all, you're going to need salt and pepper grinders. Now, you can buy them fairly cheap from the supermarket, ready loaded with your salt and your pepper. So in the end, all you need to do is to take your grinder, your salt one, and we're just going to crack over the top a little bit until each fillet's got a nice little dusting of salt over the top. Now you shouldn't drown it in salt, there's just little flakes all over it. And same again with the pepper. Now that's pretty much all you need to do. Now a lot of people are going to be thinking, how is this a recipe? Well, believe it or not, one of the biggest things you need to learn when you're first learning to cook is how to correctly season meat. Because when you season meat correctly, you enhance and bring out the flavour of the meat, which would otherwise be kind of dull. So what we're going to do is pop this into a hot oven, 200 degrees Celsius, 220 degrees if you're using a fan-forced oven, about 20 minutes or so, until basically the top has started to cook a little bit. We're then going to flip them over and put them back into the oven for another 20 minutes. They'll be nicely roasted, absolutely delicious and ready to serve with your choice of vegetables. Well, our chicken has just come out of the oven, looking absolutely delicious, beautifully seasoned, succulent, juicy and delicious. Now, just to test that the chicken has been cooked properly, take a skewer or a small knife and just pierce the chicken at the thickest point there. And a little bit of juice will come out. If it's clear, the chicken is cooked. If it's still a bit pink, pop it back into the oven for a little while. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this recipe. Check out my other videos at youtube.com/OnePotChefShow. And until next time, see you later.